Al and I would now like to talk about the power of prayer and what that means in our lives.
Thanks, Jean. Prayer has become a daily focus in our lives, and we've come to know prayer as setting the tone and bringing in the energies into our daily life where we are able to bring light and a connection not only to each other but to those whom we contact in the day. Prayer is an opening of your heart. It's an opening of your soul to God. It is not necessarily done in words, although certainly for most of us words are important. It is the intention of your heart and soul brought forward to God in a focused way.
So there's no right way or wrong way to have a prayer. As Al says, prayers, true, sincere longing from our soul, are the most powerful prayers. So we've been given the gift of our earthly minds, and for me, I often get the love flowing because that's what I really want. I really want to transcend this earthly condition, the stresses and activities and chatter, endless chatter of our daily lives, and go to a place of bliss, go to that spiritual place where I really feel in tune and in communion, in rapport with God. And so, how to get there? We often set the scene by playing soft, beautiful music, and we find that we're conditioned to that after decades of listening to our favorite tape. It's sort of like Pavlov's dogs. We'll sit down, and immediately when the music starts, it helps us to go to a place of comfort and security.
And you bring up a good point, Jean, about being consistent, to do it every day, to set a routine aside, to set aside those moments in the day for prayer. And when you do so, then there's something in that routine and that habit that the mind then kind of drifts off and away from our everyday kind of thoughts, and we bring in something higher, something where we're reaching for a condition and energy that is higher than the daily issues and energies that we deal with on a daily basis. So we take ourselves to a place of prayer, and when we're at that place, then we begin to voice in one way or another our intentions with God. What are
Something that works for me, and again, we all have different ways of transcending the human condition. I purposefully like to think about my loved ones, our sons, our granddaughter, the ones who are most precious to me, my mother, my father, relatives that have already passed into spirit, and to those people and those situations in my life that really need our prayers. And I bring all the love that I can, thinking about those real heartfelt loving conditions, and let go of all those tapes that can drive us crazy, and so purposefully let go of some thoughts and bring other thoughts in, and then that helps me to reach the next level. I also invite my guardian angels to pray with me, to be beside me, to help me open my soul with their great love and establish a rapport with the angels to help me go to God.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Jean, because that is the primary purpose to prayer in our prayer lives, is to continue in the growth of our souls through divine love. So the absolute most consistent prayer made daily and often throughout our day is to ask God to open our souls to an inflowing of divine love. And it is that key prayer that forms the very foundation of our spiritual lives.
We've also had many experiences over decades about the power of prayer in the lives of our loved ones, friends around the world. We have a prayer practice, accept prayer requests, and we purposefully set times where we're available that are convenient for friends around the world where we can pray together. And the profound healings that have come as a result of those prayers have just been phenomenal, and such a testimony to the power of prayer that's available for all of us. And none of us can progress in this world alone. We need each other's prayers to help us along our path.
And as Jesus said in the Paget Messages, prayer is both an art and a science. And that your prayers, as you develop in your prayer life, will change and will become more intense and often more specific. It's important to know that prayer is an evolving and opening experience with God. It is communication with God. It is listening to God. It is knowing the intentions of your soul.
And listening. Listening is the second part of prayer, to make ourselves quietly attuned so that we can really hear God speaking to us. And that comes in different ways. Sometimes it comes in signs from our physical surroundings, and other times it comes from a bubbling up of awareness, and other times it comes with clear impressions. I like to call it the spirit of truth, that we hear with a deep knowing what God is communicating to us.